Good day everyone. Our report is all about digestive system, which can be found in the activity 12. First is the objectives, to describe the anatomy of the digestive systems, including their accessory structures, and to list down the functions of the organs of the digestive system. Materials used are colored pencils, marker, and the textbook. Procedure first is to research the parts of the digestive system, to research and label the gross anatomy of the liver and the gross anatomy of the gallbladder, pancreas, and bile passages, and digestive word search by using the listed clues below by highlighting the term that fits best in each of the given description, and the digestive system crossword, which is to solve the following crossword puzzle. These are the data. First is the part of the digestive system. This shows the image of the digestive system and the organ that can be found inside the digestive system. Next is the organ and the function of the digestive system. First is a salivary glands. This makes as much as a quart of saliva each day, and this saliva is important to lubricate the mouth, help with swallowing, protect the teeth against bacteria, and aid in the digestion of food. Salivary glands, this is for the protection of the mouth as well as the organs found inside the mouth, and aid in the digestion of the food. And there are three major pairs of salivary glands. These are the parotid glands that can be found inside the cheeks. Second is the pharynx. Pharynx permits the passage of swallowed solids and liquids into the esophagus or gullet and conducts air to and from the trachea or windpipe during respiration. The pharynx is commonly known as the throat, which is the passageway that extends from the base of the skull to the level of the 6 cervical vertebrae. Third is the esophagus. The esophagus receives food from the mouth when you swallow, and the functions of esophagus is also to transport material from the mouth to the stomach and to prevent the GER by providing an important barrier. Fourth is the stomach. Stomach is a temporary storage for food which passes from the esophagus to the stomach, where it is held for 2 hours or longer, mixing and breakdown of food by contraction and relaxation of the muscle layers in the stomach. Stomach also secretes acid and enzymes that digest food, and for the muscle contraction, which for the enhancement of the digestion. Fifth is the small intestine. Small intestine carries out most of the digestive process, absorbing almost all of the nutrients you get from foods into the bloodstream. Small intestine, also known as the small bowel, which is an organ that can be found in the gastrointestinal tract, where the most absorption of nutrients and minerals takes place. Sixth is the large intestine. The purpose of the large intestine is to absorb water and salts from the material that has not been digested as food and get rid of any waste products left over. Unlike the small intestine, the large intestine produces no digestive enzymes, and large intestine includes the absorption of water as well as the electrolytes and the elimination of feces. Seventh is the rectum. The rectum job is to receive stool from the colon, let you know that there is stool to be evacuated or to pooped out, and to hold the stool until evacuation happens. The rectum is a straight 8-inch chamber that connects the colon to the anus, and this is responsible for the evacuation of stool or for pooping out, and to hold the stool until the evacuation happens. 8 is the liver. The liver regulates most chemical levels in the blood and excretes a product called bile. This helps carry away waste product from the liver. Other functions of the liver is for the enzyme activation, storage of vitamins, minerals, in synthesis of plasma proteins such as albumin and clotting factors. Next is the gallbladder, which is an organ that's found in your abdomen. Its function is to store bile until it's needed for digestion. The gallbladder contracts or squeezes to send bile into your digestive tract. Next is the pancreas. Pancreas makes pancreatic juices called enzymes, and these enzymes break down sugars, fats, and starches. Pancreas also help for the digestive system by making hormones, and these also are chemical messengers that travel through the blood. Next is the mucosa. Mucosa is the innermost layer and function in absorption and secretion. It is composed of epithelium cells and a thin connective tissue. The mucosa also contains specialized goblet cells that secrete sticky mucus throughout the GI tract. Next is the submucosa, which absorb elements that pass through the mucosa or pick up from the blood vessels of the submucosa. This also, the substance of it is an ordinary loose connective tissue which allows the mucosa to move flexibly during peristalsis. 13th is the muscularis. Muscularis is responsible for the segmental contractions and peristaltic movements in the gastrointestinal tract, or known as the GI tract. This is also to improve the secretion and the absorption of nutrients, and this is a connective tissue layer deep to supporting the mucosa. Lastly is the serosa, which consists of a secretory epithelial layer and a thin connective tissue layer. The serosa is also a membrane that lines in an internal cavity to protect the contents and secretes serum.
Gross anatomy of the liver. So the liver is made of very soft and pinkish brown tissues, and it is also the largest organ in our body. The liver consists of 4 distinct lobes: the right, left, caudate, and quadrate lobes. So the left and right lobes are the largest lobes and are separated by the falciform ligament. The right lobes is about 5 to 6 times larger than the tapered left lobe. Quadrate lobe naman is located on the upper aspect of the visceral surface. It lies between the inferior vena cava and a fossa produced by the ligament venosum. Quadrate lobe is located on the lower aspect of visceral surface. It lies between the gallbladder and a fossa produced by the ligamentum teres. So the difference between caudate lobe and quadrate lobe is the caudate lobe ay located siya sa upper aspect of visceral surface. Ang quadrate lobe naman is located naman siya sa lower aspect of the visceral surface. We have also the triangular ligaments. We have right and left. So the left triangular ligament is formed by the union of the anterior and posterior layers of the coronary ligament at the apex of the liver. At naka-attach din siya sa left lobe of the liver to the diaphragm. Ang sa right triangular ligament naman is formed in a similar fashion adjacent to the bare area, and naka-attach naman siya sa right lobe of the liver to the diaphragm. Gross anatomy of the gallbladder, pancreas, and bile passage. The gallbladder has a storage capacity of 30 to 50 ml, and it is typically divided into 3 parts. We have the body, neck, and head. So the head is the rounded distal portion of the gallbladder. It projects into the inferior surface of the liver in the mid-clavicular lane. Ang body naman is the largest part of the gallbladder. It lies adjacent to the posterior inferior aspect of the liver. Neck. Sa neck naman is the gallbladder tapers to become continuous with the cystic duct, leading into the biliary tree. The pancreas is a oblong flattened gland about 6 inches long, located deep into the abdomen, sandwiched between the stomach and the spine. It has 5 main parts. It has the tail, body, neck, head, and uncinate process. The pancreas is made up of glandular tissue and a system of ducts. So we have the bile passage. When the liver cells secretes bile, it collected by the system of ducts that flows from the liver to the right and left hepatic ducts. These ducts ultimately drain into the common hepatic ducts. Next, the common hepatic duct then joins with the cystic duct from the gallbladder to form the common bile duct. This runs from the liver to the duodenum. Not all bile runs directly into the duodenum. About 50% of bile produced by the liver is first stored in the gallbladder. This is a pear-shaped organ located directly below the liver. Then, when the food is eaten, the gallbladder contracts and releases stored bile into the duodenum to help break down the fats.
Hello everyone, I am Irish Kirby Italia. So today I am going to discuss to you the digestive research of the digestive system. So for clue number 1, it is an enzyme found in the mouth that breaks down the starch. So the answer is the amylase, and the amylase can be found there. Next, it is the movement of food through the digestive system. So the answer is the peristalsis, and the peristalsis can be found there. Next, it breaks down the protein into shorter polypeptide chains. So the answer is the pepsin. So the pepsins can be found there. Next, it increases the surface area for absorbing broken down food products in small intestine. So the answer is the villi, and it can be found there. Next, it is the organ in charge of making insulin. The answer is the pancreas. It is the pancreas. Next, it is a liquid that digests large fat particles. The answer is the bile. So this is the bile. Next, cause due to the presence of additional water in the intestine, so the feces can become more very watery. So the answer is the diarrhea. So this is the diarrhea. Next, it is a small cholesterol deposits that form in the gallbladder. So when gallstones can be secreted into bile duct, when this happens, they block the flow of bile, causing severe pain. So the answer is the gallstone. So this is the gallstone. Next, it is a small pores or openings in the linings of the stomach. So it caused due to the presence of excessive acid or bacteria in the stomach. So the answer is the ulcers. So this is the ulcer can be found there. So next, I am going to discuss the digestive system crossword. So for the movement downward, so number 1, the movement of food through the digestive system. So the answer is peristalsis. Next, movement across. So number 2, it breaks down the protein into shorter polypeptide chains. So the answer is pepsin. Number 3, an enzyme found in the mouth that breaks down the starch. So the answer is amylase. For number 4, it produces bile. So the answer is liver.
For number 5, increases the surface area for absorbing broken down food products in the small intestine. So the answer is the villi. Number 6, the organ in charge of making insulin. So the answer is the pancreas. Number 7, it is the small cholesterol deposits that form into the gallbladder. So when this happens, they block the flow of bile causing severe pain. So the answer is the gallstone. Number 8, it caused due to the presence of additional water in the intestine. So the feces can become very watery. So the answer is the diarrhea. Number 9, it is a liquid that digests large fat particles. So the answer is the bile. Number 10, it's small pores or openings in the linings of the stomach due to the presence of excessive acid or bacteria in the stomach. So the answer is the ulcers. In conclusion, so our digestion is needed for the breakdown of food into nutrition, so which the body needs to function, develop, and cell repair. So the role of our digestive system begin when food enters the body and passes through the esophagus and the stomach where digestion starts. So the small intestine then breaks down the food to absorb nutrients and send it into the bloodstream. So the remaining food turns into liquid and moves into our large intestine. So the wall of the large intestine soaks up the water while the remaining undigested food is excreted. So our digestive system plays a major role in our overall health as it brings nutrients to our body. So without good digestive health, we will experience a host of uncomfortable symptoms such as abdominal pain, bloating, indigestions, and more. Review questions. Number 1. Name the principal regions of the digestive tract in order from mouth to anus. So the main organs that make up the digestive system in order of their function are the mouth. First is the mouth, then down into esophagus, down to stomach, then to small intestine, then to large intestine, and then rectum and anus. For number 2, what is the difference in function and location between intrinsic and extrinsic salivary glands? Name the extrinsic salivary glands and describe their function. So the difference between intrinsic and extrinsic salivary glands is that the intrinsic glands lie within the mucosa or submucosa of their organ of origin, while the extrinsic glands communicate with their organ of origin by means of excretory ducts. So a useful concept in the study of extrinsic glands is that the site of termination of their excretory ducts denotes their embryological origin. So next, explain why the stomach does not digest itself. So the stomach does not digest itself because it is lined with epithelial cells which produce mucus. So this creates a membrane between the stomach lining and the content. So the stomach wall secretes enzymes which are part of the digestive juices from glands and lack of mucus barrier. So next, what does the liver contribute to digestion? So these it's several of its non-digestive function. So our liver controls most chemical levels in the blood. So it also secretes a clear yellow or orange fluid called bile. So our bile helps to break down fats, preparing them for further digestion and absorption. So all of the blood leaving the stomach and intestines passes through the liver. So the liver processes these bloods and breaks down and balances and creates nutrients for the body to use. It also breaks down or metabolizes medicines in the blood into forms that are easier for the body to use. So for the continuation, the non-digestive function of the liver is that it sensitizes the plasma proteins, clotting factors, and anti-cyanogen, phagocytes of damaged red blood cells. It is storage of blood, it breakdowns of circulating hormones, and for inactivation of lipid soluble drugs. Explain why the pancreas is considered to be the both an endocrine and an exocrine gland, and how does the pancreas contribute to digestion. So the pancreas is located posterior to the stomach next to the duodenum. So the pancreas function as both an exocrine and endocrine gland. So when we say endocrine organs, it releases their body usually hormones directly into the blood. So our pancreas contains islet of Langerhans, which are made up of alpha and beta cells. So the beta cells secrete insulin and our alpha cells secrete glucagon. So the islet of Langerhans monitor blood glucose concentration. So the insulin and glucagon are hormones that help maintain a healthy blood glucose concentration. Next is the exocrine organs releases secretion through a duct. So our pancreas is an exocrine gland because nervous or hormonal stimulation causes pancreatic secretion to be released into the duodenum through a duct. So the secretions are alkaline and contains enzymes such as lipase, amylase, trypsins, and also they aid digestion. So for the continuation, our pancreas plays a big role in digestion because like what I have said, it is located inside our abdomen, just behind our stomach. So it's about the size of our hand. So during digestion, our pancreas makes pancreatic juices called enzymes. So these enzymes break down sugar, fats, and starch. So our pancreas also helps our digestive system by making hormones. These are chemical messengers that travel through our blood. So the pancreatic hormones help regulate our blood sugar levels and appetite. So it stimulates stomach acids and thaw our stomach when it is empty.